Look at these northern lights.
Whoa. A lot of moose prints here, eh?
There's a nest with 4 eggs in it.
Where?
Just on the beach in the sand.
Oh, cool. Wow. That's awesome. I guess they abandoned it?
I don't know. You think so?
Maybe, yeah. Because there's no birds around.
Yeah, but maybe they're like hiding because we're here.
It's so cool. It's a picture of that.
Well, bad news in River City here. My smashed bottom of my canoe here is leaking water into the air pocket, and that's the water that's dripping out right now. It's actually, this air pocket here has got quite a bit of water in it. You know, a certain amount of water in here, you know, probably with my gear and the front one still floating, the canoe wouldn't sink, but at a certain point, you know, the air pockets fill with water, like your canoe will sink. This is not normal. This, I don't think, should happen. I think something's defective here, but I'm going to start trying to drain the water here and flip the canoe over and do my best to patch it. Unfortunately, this epoxy, putty epoxy, that all we have is a very tiny bit left because we've used it up to fix the canoe. I also used a small amount to fix my sunnies as well. Ha. So I'm just mixing up this putty epoxy, marine epoxy here. So luckily we're only 70 kilometers from the coast. I'm sure it's gonna get me there. I'm just gonna have to be careful about it. I also have some silicone, and you know, that's not a marine silicone, it's a water ready right away, so it's not meant to be submerged, so eventually I don't think it will work, but it's water ready right away, whereas some of the other stuff, it literally took a day before you could put it in the water, and when you're out here you don't really have that kind of time. But you certainly couldn't have patched it this morning and had it cure underwater.
Right.
Not really.
Yeah.
In a special jar for 8-1. And she was like, "You're not supposed to eat from that." Like, yeah.
For like a year.
Right.
About how like
Stupid gel coat. Gel coats.
Here's where we're gonna have the fire. There's an old ring there. And right over here is this. We don't know what species of bird these are. Does anybody know? Tell me in the comments.
got a little dehydrated coconut curry chicken here, courtesy of my wife Tori.
I don't think so. Okay. End of the day, day 20. End of the day, day 20. Pretty sweet day. We started out at this kind of island campsite on the river, just right at the side of the river. That was kind of half like underwater, and did a little fishing, caught some grayling. We only end up keeping one. Now we wish we kept more because grayling don't keep long. Well, we gutted it, put it in a Ziploc, and just ate it. Turned out to be fine. The skin gets a little, the flesh gets like a little soft and squishy, but just not bad. So when it kind of firms up when you cook it too, so that was tasty. And yeah, immediately bombed like one of the most intense rapids of the trip. Super long, just hit some huge standing waves, seals all around as usual. Then hit a really long rapid as well. That was incredible because it was through an ice canyon. The river was super wide. It just looks like an absolute Shangri-La. There were seals jumping up the river, like porpoising up the river as I was paddling the rapids. Ted went over to the base of this huge ice cliff and, you know, paddled past that. There's caves in it and stuff. Then we got to an area with a whole bunch of islands. There's seal pups everywhere. I watched a little seal pup come out of the water to sun itself in a rock and like bat at the horseflies and bite at the horseflies, and they're all around us. And that was super cool. And it was almost like a tundra setting there. And Ted found a caribou antler not long after. We ran a couple more rapids and then got to almost a really wide, slower lake-like section, and spent some time trying to figure out where we wanted to camp. We ended up finding a pretty awesome spot, and we found a bird's nest. So really awesome day. Made it about 30K. So we're doing good. We're not super stressed pushing to make time, but we still, you know, got to make time. We are in polar bear country now. Polar bears are known to come 70 clicks up the river, so we're right on the fringe of it right now. And so, you know, at any point we might start seeing polar bears, which is pretty cool. So lots more rapids to come. The plan is that when we make it, there's only 4 days left of canoeing till we reach the mouth, and then the 25th day of the trip we're going to get picked up by a guy from the mouth who's got a boat. He's going to drive there from the community of Churchill, which has train access. There's no road into it, there's train access, and he's going to drive us a 70K back for day 25 along the Hudson's Bay coast, which is really tempestuous. So we're going to have a small little cabin at the mouth there, and there's going to be belugas and polar bears and stuff like that. So it's just hopefully going to get better and better. Hopefully we don't get eaten. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Paddling those long rapids, man. I got a bit of a sprained wrist. It can be pretty exhausting, and you know, because it's so long. You end up really getting a workout by the time you get to the bottom. So lots of fun. And tomorrow's another day, so now I'm just basically going to crawl into bed, recharge some of my batteries, literally my camera batteries, and just pass out and get a good night's sleep.
Look at these northern lights.
Oh yeah. Whoa. Look at that. They're getting close, eh?
Turn your light off. Cool. Really cool colors, eh?
I was literally just about to turn in. Had all my stuff that I needed in the tent. I looked up and saw northern lights. And even though it doesn't really get totally pitch black here, even now, mid-July, I mean, maybe it would, but not at this time. Anyways, you can still see them. We're getting some purples, your greens, beautiful colors, and they look really close. And then they kind of died, and I was going to go into the tent again, then they came back better than ever. So gotta stay up to see stuff like that. Really cool way to cap off an epic day. Good morning. It is day 21 and it is really smoky here. Looks like a nice day, dry, a little bit of a breeze. Mosquitoes are pretty bad, but you know, probably not as bad as the average torture that we've been enduring in the mosquito department out here. But it is very, very smoky. The winds changed yesterday. Now they're coming from, I guess, southwest. So I'll explain the warm, dry wind, but whatever it is, it's been blowing in a lot of forest fire smoke. Visibility is low. The smell of smoke is heavy in the air. It's actually stinging my eyes a little bit. We're thinking that crazy lightning storm that me and Ted encountered a few days ago, there was some heavy rain there, but a lot of it was just lightning without much rain and over a large area. So that's definitely the kind of thing that could start multiple small forest fires as that lightning storm passes through. So good chance maybe that's what did it. And yeah, hopefully it just doesn't catch up to us and, you know, set us on fire. I didn't even notice it till late yesterday, but wrist is really bothering me. I think I can still grip a paddle tightly though, so probably be fine.
shit. Thank God.
Let's get smokes and they order only like one pack. We're gonna look at the map. We do have a lot of pretty serious rapids coming up on this trip. There's only 4 days left till we get to the coast, and then a 5th day where we're gonna be in a boat riding along the coast to Churchill. But we do have some intense rapids to contend with in the kilometers that lie ahead, which is, you know, a little concerning, but I think they're going to be fun. A lot of them have been manageable. We haven't dumped yet. We haven't even had to portage on the Seal River yet, so hopefully we can keep that up.
It doesn't really look like we do.
Yeah, maybe today is not going to be a rapid intense day. The last non-rapid intense day was amazing. We saw Wolverine, or Ted saw Wolverine. I tracked it for a ways, and we saw moose swimming across the river and caught a bunch of fish. So hopefully we can maybe have a less terrifying day and make decent distance.
Sorry. The thick is kind of better. Getting really smoky.
We have a pretty strong tailwind coming out of the southwest, so still warm and dry, and it's picked up pretty strong, and so has the smokiness of our surroundings.
Well, it is getting even smokier out here on the river. It's really screwing our view, man. Like, come on.
Definitely hasn't been used to seeing people before, because it was just staring at us. Didn't really seem too scared, but it seemed quite curious. That's exactly what we are.
Jim! I'm gonna paddle up there. Okay, well, wait for me there.
Looks like I might be trying to swim across. jump into this eddy and wait for Ted. We saw a moose and I managed to get some good footage of it, but Ted couldn't capture it, and I could either film it or put my camera down, paddle closer to the island to potentially scare the moose, have it run off and get nothing. But Ted was closer to the shore, so he managed to duck in behind the island, and he's like, I'm gonna try to paddle up here. I said, well listen, I can't get over because it's just rushing current. I was too far out and a strong tailwind. So I said, I'll wait for you. And then as I turned around, I saw the moose on the other side of the island, just the exact same side. Ted started going up, just looking down like this. So maybe Ted ended up getting an amazing shot. We'll have to wait and see. I'm interested to hear what happened. But yeah, curious bull moose for sure. Big guy. Antlers weren't too big yet, but wow, it looked really healthy.
Well, that was really cool. Just saw a nice, really big bull moose. The wind and the current is so strong, it was so hard to get a shot. Jim said he managed to get a shot of him, but I didn't really, and I got blown down. I came up the other side of the island despite the strong current. He kind of came out a bit and swam out for me, and I got some footage of him swimming. Unfortunately in the canoe it was really kind of shaky for most of it, but really cool experience.
Maybe I'll take this moment to grab a bite to eat.
This is the island I'm waiting for Ted behind while he goes and tracks a moose, and just climbing up on it, and it is super cool. It's just a huge mound of peat. This. All peat. Oh, and look what we have here. This is crazy. If some wolves did it in. Looks very much like it was taken down by wolves while it was on this island. Right on top of this, I want to see Ted's face when he sees it.
I got some more sick footage of it.
I saw that!
But like, I got out and my boat was still rocking me, and I was rocking, and holy shit! Wow! Are you kidding? Dude! That is mint!
Yo, Eddie out over here and come check out this island, it's bomb!
down and Jim pulled over on an island because he got caught in the current and couldn't really get to the island with the moose, and so he walked up on this thing, and as I'm going past, he has this absolutely perfectly bleached caribou deadhead, basically. Just gonna go check out this island and see this deadhead that Jim found. Looks phenomenal. Whoa, it's like a peat island. Unbelievable, dude. Wow.
I saw the moose on the tip of the island from here.
Dude, look at this peat.
I know, how cool is this?
This peat I'm walking on. It looks like it came from the taxidermist.
Oh, this part's broken off here.
Wow.
Pretty
Look
good,
at how
right?
bleached white it is.
Yeah. Can we keep it?
Yeah. It's quite a mission to keep, but whoa, dude. Wow.
Look at how its nose is all broken from the wolves eating off its nose.
Hopefully we don't dump and stab us to death. Really cool chain of events with that moose and Jim just pulling over here because he had to wait up for me, and seeing this old site of a wolf kill where the caribou, I guess, was taken down by wolves here, and here's its bones scattered around and the massive head with antlers. Just really freaking cool. But what's like even cooler about it is just how sun bleached it is. I guess just being on this peat island, it's just exposed to not much, you know, decay or rot that you would have in other places, and just tons of sun, and the sun has just bleached it. It's just been dry and high for a while. It looks like, you know, a taxidermist bleached it. It's so white. It's quite amazing.
Cool little pit stop on this island. I wasn't gonna keep it. Ted, careful now or I'll ram you. I rammed Ted with my antlers. Cool, huh? Yeah, I wasn't gonna keep it because I already have a bunch of this kind of stuff, but I guess I just couldn't pass it up. So we'll see. Be interesting running rapids with this on my canoe. Hopefully I don't dump and skewer myself. But maybe I'll take it home, or maybe I'll leave it in Churchill or at the cabin at the mouth for other people to see or something. Because here it's just about to fall into the river. It's not heavy. I traveled a long way with a moose skull like that. It was way heavier. Anyways, time to continue trying to paddle away from a forest fire.
Well, that was pretty cool. Cool find. Yeah, cool chain of events. The size of this river continues to boggle my mind. We are just in a very wide stretch, and you know, it looks like a freaking big lake, but there's quite a strong current ripping through it. Just so much water, such an unbelievable river, really.
Coming through a bit of a side slough here, and I just spooked a cow moose that was in the willows on the bank at the same time as I was looking at a seal that popped up right in front of me. Pretty cool. So that's 2 moose for the day. Unfortunately, it was spooked and running off, so I got a good look at it, but not enough time to pull up my camera. Yeah, I love the big wide river. It's really beautiful and powerful, but it's kind of neat to check out some of the side channels too, where you might get a little closer to wildlife and whatnot.
I am sleepy. Not getting a ton of sleep on this trip. The relaxed days of the day, the heat makes me want to have a nap. Oh, it's beautiful out.
Time to musk all up.
Stuff's in short supply. You're on day 21. Out in the Curry Mountains, I saw Captain Sparrow and his money he was coming. I first produced my pistol. At this point, we have 50 kilometers left, and after today, 3 days to do it in. So we might actually do it in 2 days and spend an extra night camped at the mouth in this little shack where we're gonna wait our boat pickup. And that little shack is there because there's a high population density of polar bears. And you know, if we, it's not safe to really just camp there. So we have a good chance of safely viewing some polar bears from that shack because they're in their largest numbers along the coast. So because we're ahead of schedule, we don't really need to, I mean, it's hopefully going to be fairly easy. I mean, these rapids coming up are going to take time to scout and run, and it will be challenging, but it might not take an enormous amount of time. So because of that, we might be just fine to give ourselves a little buffer.
Jim!
Yeah?
You want to paddle behind the island?
Sure. Another one of these peat moss islands. You can smell it. Smells like decaying organic matter a little bit.
Here on my right, we have a peat island. It is a flat plateau up there, very picturesque, very interesting.
Paddle, you little trout sniffer.
Trout sniffer, that's so good. I'm not paddling. Well, Jim and I are just checking out a place here. It's a bit of a raised plateau. There is a campsite marked in our notes not far from here that says it's a good beach. But we've camped on a lot of beaches, and this looks like really comfortable and flat, and it's windy, so it would be able to, we'd be able to keep the bugs down. Not like the best place to unload, but it's not too bad. So I don't know. Maybe we'll check here. Around the point too is like a blasting headwind, and the campsite's only a couple of kilometers from here, so it's sort of like, what's really the point? If this is good, it's sheltered, no bugs, nice, soft, relaxing, don't have to paddle in a blasting headwind. Seems like a good, you know, walking up a bit of a cliff is a good trade-off. So anyway, I'm gonna go check it out.
Had smelled a dead, rotting animal. I thought it might have just been the smell of the peat moss, but I don't know. It smells a little stronger than that, but definitely some rotting organic matter.
So Ted's gonna go check it out because I guess he likes dead, rotting animals.
Wow, cool. Check out this like awesome plateau up here.
Well, I think I see another deadhead. We're just scanning this what's likely a peat tundra place. The headwinds are strong and we only have like 3 clicks to make it to camp, so it's like, what's the point in like beasting into a headwind when we could camp here? But anyways, I looked and I saw these 2 white things sticking up, so I wanted to go investigate, and I thought maybe they're seagulls or something, but it looks like we have some more antlers here. Look at that. Perfect.
Another antler!
Wow, cool. Jim just found a another caribou antler. So cool. Just so different from where we're from. Really feels like a caribou antler type of place. This I'd camp here. See how there's these like little dry lakes with all the goose feet footprints? Over there, over where we were originally was much flatter. It's weird that the antlers are out here like this. I guess they don't like go into the abyss like if it was in the forest.
It might be harder to see too, right? It's pretty cool though.
Or maybe they're out here, they eat like some of the mosses and lichens that grow out here.
Probably food for them.
But this little plateau is not as flat as the other one, but
Oh, really?
well, yeah, back there it was actually like pretty freaking level, but this also just forms to you. See?
Right, yeah, so if you lie in it, you just push
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, like I'll stay here, man. Like, I don't know, sort of like the effort to pull our bags up the hill is probably less than beast paddling into the wind.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like if we're gonna stop and camp at 3 clicks anyways, like why paddle into a blasting headwind? And if we're gonna go past the class 3 and camp, you know,
Right.
maybe we don't want to do that in a blasting headwind anyways, you know?
Right. Cool antler. Well, Jim and I decided to not camp there because it seemed like a bit too much of a peat plateau, which would mean we couldn't have a campfire safely.
Well, we added another caribou antler to the pile of bone. A cool one I found up on the Tundra.
Also, it was kind of a bit of a hike to get our gear up there and sort of deep on the shoreline, and it felt like maybe the wind had died a bit. And we were just overall just kind of strangely lazy at the time, so we just wanted to get out of there because the bugs ended up coming out. And so we're moving on to the next campsite. Hopefully it's not flooded out. It's marked as a good beach, but you know, beaches tend to be underwater when the water's really high.
Looks like a piece of shit, eh?
It does look pretty flooded, but it looks like maybe there's enough space.
So we'd have to set up like in between the bank and the water basically, eh?
Looks like maybe there's enough beach in the back left. If like any waves came across here, we'd just get washed out.
I mean, if the water is just a little lower, there'd be an epic beach here though, eh?
Yeah, like right here, right?
Yeah.
It could like...
Oh, there's enough room there.
Probably not as good as the plateau though.
The bugs have found us.
So the question is whether to camp sort of here, maybe fill in a couple, like camp there where Jim is, which is really precariously close to the water, but you could fit a tent in and just cross your fingers that the wind doesn't blow up. Or we could camp in this upper section that is over here. Dun, dun. Looks like there's a bit of a footpath, maybe for high water or people that don't like camping on the sand. Oh yeah, there's a plateau up here. So yeah, we could camp up here for sure. Wow. Crazy. Nice tent spot right here. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, ground eroding. Wow. Guess there was some water running under there. It's almost like a bit of a sinkhole up and over there too. Really just beautiful day. It's about 7:30. But the sun is just, I don't know, it feels like this evening, it doesn't get dark till so late. The sun's, it almost looks like the moon up there. I think it's because of the smoke in the air.
Quite shrouded in forest fire smoke. It's like perfectly round, eh?
It's always a full sun.
Yeah.
Should have stayed on the beach.
Well, there wasn't much room on the beach because of the high water, but we climbed up a little hill and found this open swath of tundra with a lot of flat spots to camp. So we're gonna maybe have the fire down on the beach. We're worried the ground here might be kind of peaty, which isn't really safe to have a fire on, so we're gonna have it on the sand, and we're gonna camp up here on the flatter ground and not have to worry about waves crashing into our tent at night if the wind blows up. But this is new. The lake over there. This is just tundra. So this was not something we had in the earlier days of the trip. That's just how far north we are. There's not any significant elevation here or anything. We're just far enough north that there's large areas of permafrost and soil, I suppose, that's not conducive to the growth of forests. Still patches of forest for sure, big ones, but also getting these big patches of tundra as we approach the Hudson Bay coast. It's going to be more and more tundra. I have no idea what these lines are. Maybe overflow creek. These humps in the ground, yeah. And the water melts in this lake over here. This creek here. Probably melted through the permafrost here or something.
Oh, this is gonna be home for the night.
Yeah, a little bit. Like I've never really experienced that, like the ground around here. Like 10 times these things have just been stabbed into the ground and stripped away.
Sick saw.
Terrible fireplace setting.
Oh man.
It's gonna happen at any moment.
Yeah, well, I was just about to put this in to hold it up.
This should have gone underneath.
No.
It was being held by this.
Yeah, and I was just about to put this there.
top.
Why would you have done that?
I put a log on the fire and your fire fell apart.
Yeah, but you purposely knocked it down.
I put a log on the fire, Jim.
Yeah, but
fire was horribly fucking
and you
done.
purposely tried to prove it by throwing a
No,
log
I
on
didn't!
F off, man! I'm
fucking idiot!
I'm trying to fix
I'm
it.
fixing it.
Dude, I lit the fire. You ruined it.
I put a log on gently. You know?
I was just trying to fix it right now, and then you just
I
came in.
put a log on the fire, and it fell down because it was held on by hair. I did it on purpose.
Well, how did you know it was held on by hair and you just whipped
I just
it
put a
on?
log on.
Dude, but I was coming in to put this log to support
I put a
it.
log on the fire,
Right.
and it fell down.
Yeah, but then you started
I didn't do
micromanaging
anything. Yeah, because it was sloping. It fell on you like 10 times too. I thought you had figured it out, but clearly not.
I was just about to come and put this in the way to stop blocking.
That wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, it
still would have just rolled off.
I don't know. I think you're a little crazy when it comes to these things.
That's it. I put a log on and you had a meltdown because it rolled off because your fire was built on a fucking 25-degree slope. I did it on purpose to prove that your fire was It's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
The reason that I said, oh, you did it on purpose was because immediately, will you let me talk? Immediately after you put it on and it fell, you said, oh, it was only being held up by this little nub.
No, because you ran in and started yelling at me. Oh, dude, what are you doing?
Dude, I was walking in with a piece of wood like this to support it right when you threw that in.
That's what you were doing.
Yes, I was.
I cut the log right here. You were standing here. Yeah. Then I put it on, it fell. You're like, oh, what are you doing? And then I'm like, okay, just started fixing it.
And then I was in the middle.
Maybe you should have just shut up and let me fix it after it fell apart.
I was on my way in with a log to try to fix it.
You were on your way in with a log.
100% I was. I'm not making that up.
Why didn't you do this from the beginning when it fell apart on you 6 times in a row?
Well, because it was burning. I was trying to get the fire going.
Dude, man, just shut up. The fire fell apart. I was just going to put a log under and put it the thing.
Do you want to look at the footage if you don't believe me? Why would I be lying?
How am I lying?
Why would I be lying, I said?
Dude, watch the footage.
I know what I did, dude.
I put a...
we have about, I think, geez, I don't know, not too. We're coming down the home stretch here for the trip, and we have 3 days to do it, so we're probably going to aim to try to get to the coast a little early. We ended up finding camp, which was kind of flooded out, but we kind of walked up and found a whole area of tundra that was really cool, caribou migration path, and like a big kind of flat area that we could set up the tent, but we got absolutely swarmed by bugs. And then we came to get the fire going, both tired, hungry, exhausted. And Ted and I got in some blow up about the fire because I thought he was getting in my way and he thought I was getting in his way, and he just pissed me off, and then he just went off on me and we just got in a huge blow up. So Ted didn't even want to eat with me, and he went up there and ate, I don't know, up at the campsite or whatever, which is too bad. And then we just got in an extended argument, but I made myself a little chilly, and I'm going to go try to apologize to Ted, but hopefully we can make up, because we have to act as a team, because tomorrow we have a lot of intense stuff to face in the way of serious whitewater and also polar bear danger. There's a good chance we might see a polar bear one of these days. So just going to finish up this delicious dehydrated chili that my wife made, and I'm going to go to bed. Ted's trapped by the wind.